This is our second video for 7.3, 7.4. I'm going to start off with the conversions for temperature, and we're going to go through these pretty quickly because, again, this is really just plugging into your formula that's going to be given to you and then simplifying, making sure you're careful on what to round to depending on what it says on your directions. So in this case, again, remember this whole section is telling you to solve, plug in for Fahrenheit, and we are solving for C. And I want you to realize, though, this section and the next section will be mixed up on the test. So we're going to be plugging in again. So it will be 105 equals 1.8 Celsius plus 32. We subtract the 105, we subtract the 32, we get 73. And then we would divide by 1.8 to get my Celsius, which in this case, again, depending on how you're rounding, you're going to divide that by 1.8. It would have been 40.56 if we're rounding to the nearest hundredths place. In this direction on my handout right here, it says round to the nearest tenth. So in that case, it should be 40.6 degrees Celsius. So I'm just going to write the ones that I had up here above so that you have those answers clear. So going to number 4. So we have 130 equals 1.8 Celsius plus 32. So we take the 130, subtract the 32, we get 98, and we would divide that by 1.8 to get my Celsius. Again, I skipped the step of writing the in-between piece, but I subtracted first and then divided. So divide 98 by 1.8 in our calculator, and we should get 54.44 if we were doing hundredths place, and in this section it asked for the nearest tenth, so we would truncate, so it's 54.4 degrees Celsius. So one more for this section. We're going to do the 98.6 degrees, which is what we generally think of as normal. And so some of you already know what this is, but again, we're going to go through the steps, write down the general formula, plugging it in. I expect to see that. Subtract the 32, we get 66.6. We divide that by 1.8, and in your calculator this gives you an exact answer. So it's 37 degrees Celsius. These are not hard, you just have to be careful once they're mixed together that you're plugging into the correct location. So going to number 8, we are solving for Fahrenheit, and again, these problems are much easier because you literally are just putting it directly into your calculator. 0 times anything is 0, so this answer is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So freezing in Fahrenheit is 32, in Celsius it's 0. Here, Fahrenheit 1.8 times 10 plus 32. That should give me, that moves that decimal place one place, so I get 18 plus 32. And so that should give me 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So one more for this section. We have Fahrenheit 1.8 times 46 degrees plus 32. Again, let your calculator do that for you and double check. So we should have, get mixed up with that, 114.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Not hard, just easy to make mistakes on. So let's go down and finish this next section. We are rounding to the nearest hundredths. And again, we're using our conversion factors here. So we're starting off with 8 centimeters. This would be get rid of the centimeters, and we want the inches. So looking over there, that would be 1 inch to 2.54 centimeters. So we actually are dividing by the 2.5 here. And we're doing, again, in this piece, we're rounding to the nearest hundredths place, which is 2 places. And so when you plug that into your calculator, you're going to get 3.15 inches. Going to number 14, so it's 3 inches. So 3 inches, and so we want to get rid of the inches, we want to get the feet, and always double check that those units are canceling. So we should know, again, that this conversion factor is, but it will be given to you, that we have 1 foot equals 12 inches. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 divided by 12, and this is going to the nearest hundredths place. It should be 0.25 feet. Going to number 15, slow this down at any time you want to. Again, I asked you to do these first just so that you could see if you have the format down. It helps to do these before you get to the ones actually in my math lab. Then you should be able to be really good with this. But if you get stuck, slow down, rewind, listen to it again, because I am doing these a little bit faster than the first video. So we have, in this one, 4 feet. So 4 feet, we want inches. So feet go on the bottom, so that's 1 foot to 12 inches. We're multiplying across, and some of you will know this one off the top of your head, but be careful. On a test, it's easy to get caught up and multiply instead of divide or vice versa. Going to number 16, the first thing again we need to do is just be careful. We need to convert this 4 feet, which we actually just did above, so we would have done that the same way as we did up here, and that gave us the 48 inches. So we have 48 inches, but don't forget that now we have the 2 inches there left. I didn't need to convert all of those together. We're just going to add this. It's like a mixed number. So we have 50 inches. So anytime you ever have them listed where 4 feet 2 inches, convert the units that are not what you want and then add anything that's left over in that piece. Going to number 9, we have 9 inches. What we want is centimeters. What we want to get rid of is inches. We look back up here, the very top one. 1 inch equals 2.54, so the inches cancel, which is double checking, and I am multiplying across, so I have 9 times 2.54 over 1. We're just multiplying that into our calculator, and once we do that, we should get 22.86. Last one for this section, we're looking at 24 inches to feet, so 24 inches, we want feet. We want to get rid of the inches, and we've talked about this already. 1 foot is 12 inches. So double check that these units cancel. This gives me 24 times 1 divided by 12, and we can do this without a calculator. This should be 2 feet. Not hard, just be careful. The more of these you do in your head, the more likely you are to make a mistake. So we're going to go ahead on this section video and at least finish this next section. And then I may break off the last part onto a third video. So going to number 20, just going to kind of go through the ones that again in order. Again, anytime that you need to pause, regroup, I really would like you to try to do these on your own first and see if you can get down the pattern. It's going to help more with me, especially going really fast, if you've attempted them first. So 3 pints. I want the fluid ounces. I want to get rid of the pints because that's what's canceling there. If I look back up at my conversion factor, which is on your handouts, it's on the original conversion factor from 7172. I just tend to have them up here so that I can refer to them, but you will have to look back at that handout from 7172. I would keep that handout out while you're doing any of these pieces. So fluid ounces to pints is going to be, I'm looking up here, I have 2 pints to 32 fluid ounces, so I could use the 32 to 2, which is what I'm going to use because that's exactly what's there, but I do want you to realize you could have used 16 to 1 as well because that would reduce. So 32 times 3 divided by 2 in my calculator, I should get 48. So I multiply across 3 times 32, divide by 2 once I've done it in my calculator, and I will get 48. If you'd done 16 over 1, it would have been 3 times 16 divided by 1. So let's go up and do number 22 next. So I have 122 pints. I want the quarts. I want to get rid of the pints, so I look back up here, and it's the top one here. So I have, in this case, 1 quart equals 2 pints, so I'm just looking again for that relationship. Double check. I cannot stress this enough. Y'all will try to do these in your head and you will make mistakes. So this is actually 120 times 1 divided by 2, which should give me 60 quarts. Going to number 23, we have 128 gallons. I want quarts, and if I look up here, I do have a relationship between quarts and gallons, so I can put 4 quarts to 1 gallon. The gallons cancel. 128 times 4 divided by 1 is going to give me 512. I did there is 128 times 4 divided by 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. So last one from this section, we're going to do, again, gallons to pints. And if I look up here, I still do have that relationship for gallons to pints. So I have 24 gallons. What I want to get rid of is the gallons. What I want to keep is pints. So that's 8 pints are in 1 gallon. So again, I'm going to double check that I've canceled my units, and I have. So 24 times 8 divided by 1 should give me 192 pints. So again, anytime you need to listen to these again, please do it. The conversions that will be given to you are on that handout from 7172. While you're practicing, make sure you have the ones out that you're given, because you don't need to have those memorized. In the homework, they're going to be a pop-up menu, but you do have to memorize metric to metric, which was from the last section, 7172.